party people, it's April the Sci Fi Mombie, and welcome to episode 25 of the Sci Fi Mombie podcast. Wow, 25 episodes.
Yeah.
And of course, with me as always is my co-host Victor.
Hello, and here's Millie.
And there's Millie. And I'm pretty sure Knight, the producer, and Bootsy will come trampling through here at some point.
They always do.
They always do. So I am a 40-something-year-old full-time working Mombie fueled by caffeine. I like to talk about everything, as you all have learned over this past year: life, love, relationships, movies, music, TV, culture, and above all, sci-fi.
And horror.
And horror.
Because what is it?
Yeah. It's your turn to scream with Sci Fi Mombie.
Mm-hmm.
And we're moving into Saw because it's October.
Mm-hmm.
So, all right. The only news I have is that the writer's strike is over. Good job, guys.
Mm-hmm.
Proud of you. Now, come on, SAG-AFTRA, because I want an announcement. Of course, Vic's like, shut up, Mom. So, but that's the only news I have there. And you got anything? No, Millie. Here she goes.
1989 Taylor's version will be releasing the same day as the Five Nights at Freddy's movie.
And that is the 20...
I think it's the 7th.
Is it the 27th?
Either that or the 29th.
Okay, so FNAF is out the 27th. Now, Taylor's movie is out next week. Next Friday? The 13th? Ooh.
Maybe we should do that as our next series.
I was going to say, dude, does Friday the 13th always fall like that in October? Well, you know, we had talked about what movies we were going to do next.
Uh-huh.
So Friday the 13th just seems logical, and then Halloween.
Yeah.
So it's just classic horror.
Maybe we should watch it on Friday the 13th.
Maybe we should. Hey, we could do a stream.
Yeah.
I also have Cosme.
Hmm.
I've been learning some stuff from my buddies through the Orville Nation, and of course we're using StreamYard because it's awesome. They are not sponsored by us, but we'd like to talk to them about it. And then Cosme is a way that you can watch stuff on the side, and then we also have a Rumble account. So we'll find a way.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe we'll do a live stream. I know that.
And I've been doing a lot of reading recently.
Yeah, that's good.
Mm-hmm.
Because we like books here. We like literacy here.
Yeah.
But Ranger wants to watch the new Babylon 5 animated movie.
Oh, and I've rewatched through a series of Unfortunate Events on Netflix again.
There's a good series.
Yeah. And I've been reading through the first 3 books, and there are plenty of differences between the show and the books.
Oh, well, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I do have to say, though, the series does attach to the books much better than the movies.
Uh-huh.
The movie. I love Jim Carrey, don't get me wrong, but Neil Patrick Harris is much better.
Let's just say the movie is
Sorry,
good
Jim.
Let's just say the movie is good in its own way.
Yeah. I agree with that.
Mm-hmm.
So.
But like a whole lot of like the background stuff that's in the show, like all of the stuff that doesn't involve the Baudelaire children, none of that is in the books because it's all from their perspective in the books.
That's right. Okay. So I'm going to do an Ed Mercer right here. Okay, you need to shift a little more center.
Oh.
Is that better? Much better. There he is. So, what have you been up to?
Reading.
That's
watching
it?
YouTube.
Cleaning house?
Playing games.
Watching Saw?
Yeah. And
Finally.
Doctor Who.
Finally.
Well,
Doctor Who 60 is coming.
Yeah. That's why I wanted to rewatch through it.
Did you watch Ahsoka?
No.
You need to watch Ahsoka. Actually, you've watched Clone Wars and Rebels, right?
Here and there.
You should watch, like, I just finished watching Clone Wars beginning to end, and I'm getting ready. See, because I watched this with your brother the first time, but I forgot a lot of it.
What if I played Lego Star Wars 3? Would that be the same?
No. Oh, no. No. You've got to watch them in order, because then you'll understand Ahsoka. Because I watched it, well, I didn't really watch it out of order. I just, forgot.
This is gonna sound kind of weird, but I'm kind of thinking about watching through that Disney Junior show, Sophia the First, because there's actually a lot of story there. It's not just a little kids show. There's like a lot of story to it.
Well, that was my thing. I was talking with Dark Helmet, my new friend through Orville Nation, and he lives in St. Louis. That's pretty cool. So maybe we might, I don't know.
And I still enjoy Team Mizumi now. I think,
but
as long as you enjoy it, who cares what demographic is made?
So I'm watching through the Clone Wars, and I'm going, okay, it starts out a kid's show, and then it automatically turns to something else. Like the boobs drawn on the robots for one of the separatist governors were bigger than Padme's. And I'm going, this is a kid's cartoon.
Yeah.
What the fuck? You could see at the end, though, that it was turning into more of a adult fan thing. Yeah. So, but yeah, it's always good to go back and watch stuff. Like, as I said, I'm binging through Rebels right now, and there are no spoiler alerts. Ahsoka's been out. Deal with it. The whales that they use to get to the planet where Thrawn is are introduced in Rebels. And they have hyperspeed technology. Well, not technology. They're able to do that. Space whales.
And I will say, with the series of unfortunate events, one of the biggest difference between the show and the movie only covers the first 3 books, and it moves the climax of the first book.
Does, doesn't it?
And it moves the climax of the first book as the climax of the whole movie. And it's after Wide Window.
I see.
But with the show, it's all the books.
Yes.
Split up between 3 different seasons.
Yeah. And that was awesome. I love the way they did that.
And it's strange because every book in the show has 2 parts, except for the end, which the end is the longest book in the series. But yet it's only given 1 part.
Interesting. Well, at least we've got that series. It's worth a watch. All right, so let's go ahead and move into It's Your Turn to Scream with Sci Fi Mombie over Saw. So I pulled up the stats because I like to give you all the stats and then we talk about it. Spoiler alert, it was released in 2004. If you haven't seen Saw by now, I'm sorry.
It's a messed up movie.
It's a messed up movie series.
Yeah.
Let's see here. Where is the stats that I want to read? Don't you love the internet when you're trying to figure shit out? Saw was released in 2004, created by James Wan. Where do we know James Wan from?
I don't know.
The Conjuring, people. And Lee Wanell. Sorry if I botched your name. It's owned by Lionsgate. The franchise has made over $1 billion. $1 billion retail sales. This movie grossed something.
The weather's really nice outside, actually.
It is.
Yeah.
For
I love
October.
I love fall.
I mean, it's been a little cold, but whatever. It's that time of year to be cold. Yeah, right?
Of course it's going to be a little cold. That's why I love fall. It's just the right temperature.
And we all know the puppet Billy, right? Or Jigsaw. Jigsaw is the old man, right?
Yeah.
But he uses the puppet. There's another movie of Saw that explains the puppet.
Mm-hmm.
Very fascinating.
But the thing is,
Oh, here it is. Okay, go ahead.
The guy's name is John Kramer, and he actually says in Saw 2 he doesn't like going by Jigsaw. That's what the media's
pinned him. Yep.
Because he cuts pieces of people's skin off in the shape of a jigsaw piece.
Yeah, it's nasty. But here's the stats on it. Saw grossed $18.2 million its first opening season, which was Lionsgate's second best opening after Fahrenheit 9/11 opened in 2004. The movie has seen gross $103 million worldwide. It's the third lowest grossing film series after Jigsaw and Saw 6. So this is nice.
Which Jigsaw has a similar twist to Saw 2.
Yeah. I haven't gotten there yet.
I know, but
so we'll get there.
It's really interesting.
So on the Rotten Tomato meter, Saw is 50%, which is that's meh. Saw 2 is 37%, and so on. It looks like Saw 10 actually has the highest Rotten Tomato of 82%. Wow. None of them have A's on Cinema Score. And Metacritic 10 has the highest score out of all of them. So there's a video game.
There's two.
There's a comic book.
There are two video games, but the first one is good. The other one we don't talk about.
We don't talk about that shit.
It's a terrible game.
There is a Saw the Ride.
Oh yeah.
Out there at Thorpe Park, and that is located somewhere. Universal Studios.
They should make a Saw escape room.
That would be. We should write that one.
Yeah.
We'd make some money.
Yeah.
I don't know if I could be that gory though.
Yeah.
Right? Okay, so Carrie, let's see. Who's in this? Carrie Elways. I just had it. Where'd it go? Don't you love it when things just... Okay, so Tobin Bell, Shawnee Smith, Carrie Elways, Costas Met. I am horrible with names. I am sorry. Costas Manlor. I apologize. Danny Glover and Betsy Russell. So, pretty much what Saw is an old man gets cancer.
Yeah. And then he tries to end his own life.
Yep, and it fails.
Yeah.
And then he's in a car accident.
Yeah.
And that didn't kill him.
And it kind of, and he took this as a sign that maybe some people need near-death experiences to discover what's missing in their life.
Yeah. But he's on a revenge tour.
Yeah.
So Carrie Elways was his oncologist, and he brings him in, ties him up with a chain, and the kid that was in the room with him, what's his name? Hold on.
The character's name?
Yeah, the kid that's locked up in the room with Carrie Elways.
Dr. Lawrence Gordon.
No, that's Carrie Elways.
Yeah,
the kid, the other guy. Adam. Young lady, do you just want your 15 seconds of fame? Huh? Hold on. Just want your 15 seconds of fame. Say hi, everybody. Say my
This is our editor.
Say, I'm Millie and I'm a PETA.
Millie's our editor.
This is our tree baby.
Uh-huh.
Our last three cat. Okay, come on, Mills.
She's really good at editing.
Yeah.
We pay her in cat treats.
Yep. And naps.
Uh-huh.
And she is the second security guard of Sci Fi Mombie Security.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Go ahead, girlfriend. Adam Stanheight,
Mm-hmm.
industrial washroom worker. No, never mind. Scratch that. Reverse. The movie actually starts where they're investigating murders
Uh-huh.
that Jigsaw has done. Like, he had one guy who did him wrong wrapped up in barbed wire. No. Grab that. Get down, Millie. Wrapped up in barbed wire, and that's how he died.
Mm-hmm.
One guy lit everything on fire.
Because he was covered in wax.
Yeah.
He had to hold a candle all around the room.
Yeah, to read whatever was on the wall.
Yeah, because there was a safe.
Mm-hmm.
And there was numbers on the wall, and he needed to find the combination to the safe.
Yep, and he didn't do it in time, so he died.
Yeah. And then there's Amanda Young.
Uh-huh.
And she becomes important later, like a bit in Saw 2 especially.
Yeah. She's a drug addict.
Yeah.
And
she gets put in the reverse bear trap.
Mm-hmm. And then wasn't there a bunch of other people? No. That's Saw 2. I'm confused. Here I go, confusing plot lines again.
But she's trapped in this room, and Billy the puppet is on a TV, and he's like, if you want to get out of this trap, you have to cut open this guy's stomach.
Yeah. And there's a key inside.
And he says that he's already
dead.
But he was given an overdose of an opiate. So he was still alive. He couldn't move. But she did it, and she got out. And so they call Lawrence in for questioning because they found his pen light on one of the crime scenes.
Mm-hmm. Lay down, Millie.
And so they brought him in for questioning. But of course he didn't have anything to do with it, so they let him go.
Right. And all along, Danny Glover's character was involved in some ways.
Yeah.
She's making the rounds. But the plot scared the shit out of me, knowing that this guy can just kidnap people.
Yeah. Because he uses people in pig face masks.
Right.
He sends them out, and he kidnaps them. And we find out that Adam is a freelance for basically paparazzi. He's paid.
Yes.
He's paid to he was paid by someone who we find out is John Kramer or Zepp. I can't remember if it was Zepp or Kramer, but he is paid by one of them to go and take pictures of this guy for some reason, because he thought that Lawrence was having an affair, which he wasn't.
Right. So, I mean, but the most memorable thing about the movie is Carrie Elways is trying to get away.
Yeah, he cuts
and
off
he saws off his foot and practically bleeds out.
Yeah.
And Adam was shot in the chest. And that was because Jigsaw told the doctor to do it.
Yeah.
And didn't they kidnap the doctor's family?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they managed to get out.
Yeah. They weren't held hostage for much longer. But of course, as usual, Jigsaw lives.
Yeah.
But he's sick.
Yeah, but at the end of the first Saw, it's revealed that the dead body on the floor was John Kramer all along, was Jigsaw. And he gets up, he takes off the fake gunshot wound from his head, and he walks out of the room and he says the memorable line, "Game over," and shuts the door, leaving Adam in there to die. And that's the end of the movie.
Yeah. Cinematic wise, it's not bad.
Yeah.
Some of the cinematography is really good. A lot of blood and gore, of course, because it's Saw.
Yeah.
The puppet is creepy as hell.
Uh-huh.
On a scale of 1 to 10, what do you give it?
Um,
Considering what we've watched so far, what do you say?
6.
I'm gonna say 5.
Mm.
And that's only because usually the first one is supposed to be the best out of all of them, but I'm up to 6, and it's not the best. So, but it flows into 2.
Mm-hmm.
So let's look up 2, shall we?
Can I go ahead and start telling the synopsis while you're getting everything?
Oh, I've got that. I've got it up. Saw 2 was released in 2005. It was directed by Darren Lynn Bozeman, written by Lee Whannell and Bozeman. Bozeman. It stars Donnie Wahlberg. That one scares me. Frankie G, Glenn Plummer, Beverly Mitchell, Dina Meyer, Emanuela Fogg. Oh God, these names are terrible. Eric Knudsen, I think, Shawnee Smith, and Tobin Bell. And I think this is right before The Sixth Sense, where Donnie Wahlberg is a mental health patient. You got to watch that one too. M. Night Shyamalan is really good. But it was released on October 28th, 2005. It opened to 31.9 million and it grossed 88 million in the United States and Canada. It won Best Villain at the 2006 MTV Movie Awards for Jigsaw. It's still accruing money today because of DVD sales or streaming sales. So go ahead on the synopsis.
So it starts out with Detective Mark Hoffman and his son. And his son got in trouble for something, and he's bailing him out because Hoffman is a cop. And he's talking with his son, and his son is just like, I'd rather just go back to mom's because this is not this. I don't want to deal with this right now. So he leaves, and I think that's when we cut to or do we cut? Where does it go to? Does it go to the house after that, or does it go to something before that?
Oh my gosh, I have to remember. Here I go again, yawning as a Mombie should. Doesn't it cut to the house and everybody's like passed out everywhere in the main room?
I think so.
Because it's not. Yeah. And then he starts all those trials and stupid things. And the big muscle dude is the one that I just think is a pure asshole in the whole movie until he's dead.
So, like, 6 people wake up in the house, including Hoffman's son and Amanda Young.
Right.
And they're in this house, and they find out there's a poisonous gas in the air that's going to kill them in 2 hours.
Right.
And so they basically have to figure out how to get the antidote in time. And they're going through this house, and it seems like all the doors are locked except for one, but it won't open.
Right.
And then the big tough guy is like, "Here, let me try it." He gets it open, and then turns out there's a letter, an envelope with his name on it.
Well, there's like one door that had a gun attached to it that they opened, and the guy died because it shot him.
Because he tried the key,
Mm-hmm.
which the note expressly told him
Not to do it.
And so he gets shot, and he dies.
Mm-hmm.
And Amanda's freaking out, and she's like, "You gotta play by the rules."
I know the rules. Yeah, she kept saying, "I know the rules. I've been through this before. You got to listen to me." And of course, there's this one scene where they're revisiting her drug past.
Yeah.
And there is a pit full of hypodermic needles.
Yeah.
And you're going, ugh.
Well, it's in that same room that they enter. I think it's before that, I think. There's the room where it has the name of the big muscle guy on an envelope. Mm-hmm. They open it, it's a tape. And they got a tape player when they first woke up. So they put the tape in the tape player. And he said, "You got to get this key." Oh, yeah, it was in the same room because they had to go into the needle pit to get the key to open the door. And Jigsaw's like, "You need to get this key or the door's going to lock forever." And so he pushes Amanda into the pit.
Right. Asshole move.
Honestly, if she hadn't joined Jigsaw yet, no wonder she did. No wonder she did. Because it's just like, if someone's gonna push,
you could be treated like that. Why wouldn't you turn for the dark side of the? Because they have cookies.
But yeah, she's digging through all the needles and she finds the key, but it's just barely too late, and they can't open the door because the timer runs out. And she gets up out of the pit, and Hoffmanson is helping her get all the needles out, and they move on. Yeah.
And Donnie Wahlberg's son is the one that's like the best kid ever because he's helping everybody that gets hurt as much as he can. And in the end, this is about Donnie Wahlberg's character.
Yeah. And meanwhile, while we think this is happening in real time, they get to Jigsaw's hideout. Mm-hmm. And he finds out that his son's been taken by Jigsaw.
Yeah.
And so Jigsaw's like, "If you want to see your son again, you're going to sit here and talk to me."
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And he just like keeps him talking and talking and talking. Yeah. It's the craziest thing.
Yeah. And then, people start dying because of the gas. Mm-hmm.
Like the
and then there's one guy. There's one guy that we actually find out is the one that brought this one lady in to the trap. And so he's trying to prove himself that he's a part of this game too. So he gets inside this oven to grab a key.
Right.
Actually, no, it was an antidote. He went in there to grab the antidote. But as soon as he gets in, the door shuts, and it starts heating up, and it's on fire. There's fire.
Yeah, and he dies.
Yeah, he burns to death.
The one I remember is the woman who was the prostitute, right?
I think so. Yeah.
Or she did some kind of crime, but she put her hand. She saw an antidote, and she puts her hand up in this box, it's all like razors.
It's like a Chinese finger chop.
Yeah, and it's cut her so bad that she just bleeds out.
A bit later on.
Yeah.
But like, this lady is so upset that she exhausts like all her energy, and she succumbs to the gas.
Was it the younger blonde?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so they move on, and the big tough guy figures out that there are numbers on the back of their necks. And so he just goes crazy, and he's going to attack everyone to get those numbers.
Mm-hmm.
And the older black guy, he's starting to succumb to the gas.
Mm-hmm.
He's like puking up blood and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And so the big tough guy's like, turn around. I need to, like, he's trying to see the number on his neck. And he's like, no, what are you going to do? So he takes the nailed bat while the guy isn't looking and hits him in the back of the head and kills him. I think that's one of the only times someone actually kills another person in the Saw movies. Like, the only other time I think is Saw 3.
Mm-hmm.
And, but yeah, so he kills the guy, and then he moves on to go after everyone else.
Yeah, the big buff dude is a huge asshole.
Yeah, and then they find an X from a painting,
Mm-hmm.
and it's like X marks the spot, so they take the picture off the wall,
Mm-hmm.
they turn it around, and it's a picture of Daniel and his dad. And on the back it says father and son, and they figure out...
Oh, that's when they figure out that that's Donnie Wahlberg's son. Yeah.
And that's the same guy who got them locked up.
That's the whole plot twist here, because
and so,
not only did he lock them up,
mm-hmm.
but he did it all shady.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
and so the one girl, she's like, screw you guys. Your dad is the one that locked me up. You're on your own.
Mm-hmm.
And so she gets to the room with the antidote and
the Chinese arm, trap, yeah.
She puts her hands in, and she tries to take the syringe, but the syringe, comes apart. The antidote spills all over it.
Mm-hmm.
She can't get her wrists out, and so she's bleeding out. And the guy comes in, and he's just like, it's okay, it's okay. He looks at the number and just leaves her to die.
Mm.
And so now Amanda and Daniel are alone. They go back to the main room to see if they can find something. And the guy's chasing after him. They shut the door on him so they can't get him. And they use the bat that was in his head and jam the door.
Mm-hmm.
And then they realize there's a trap door under the safe so they move it out of the way, and it goes down into where the first movie takes place.
Mm-hmm. And they find Carrie Elway's body and Adam's body, and they're just...
Actually, no.
Well, Adam was still sitting there in the upright position, dead.
Lawrence Gordon survived, though. The doctor guy, he survived.
Did he?
Yeah.
Because I could have swore his body was like right there.
I mean, you watched Saw 4, right?
Yeah. Maybe I need to watch it again.
But
it's been a few weeks.
Yeah. But basically, he's like, the guy catches up to him, and he's like, I need to see the numbers on the backs of your heads. And Amanda's just like, well, if you kill us, how is anyone going to know what your number is?
Doesn't he like peel his skin off? Yeah.
Cuts off that part of skin, and he puts it in his pocket. But then he's bleeding out, and he dies. But actually, he doesn't die yet. They think Daniel's dead. But then he gets up and he's like, screw this, and he grabs the toilet lid and he just beats him to death. And Amanda, and then it's just, we don't know what happened from there, because, all the police get to the house and Hoffman gets to the house, and that's when they realize it was pre-recorded. It wasn't happening live.
Yeah.
And so he gets down to the basement. His son's not there, but who's there? Amanda. And she's like, and she gives him a tape, And it's like, she's all like, you put me in jail, and I went through all the Jigsaw's traps, and he showed me that there's more to life than just drug use. And so now she's working with him, and she pops up, and she's like, game over, and she locks him up.
Mm-hmm. Yep. And that's when we find out that she is actually Jigsaw's, who he wants to take over.
Yeah.
She's the mentor.
Mm-hmm.
Or mentoree. No.
She's the apprentice.
She's the Padawan.
But then we figure out,
oops,
there's
wrong franchise.
There's a safe in Jigsaw's hideout.
Right.
And the timer runs out, the safe opens, and Daniel's in there. He was safe the whole time, and they didn't even know.
Thank God.
And that's how the movie ends.
I can't stand it when kids get hurt in these movies. It creeps me out. Creeps me out. Yeah. Anything that happens to children, I just want to beat down whoever does it. Mm-hmm. So, but I thought they were going to be worse. Mm-hmm. I'm okay. I mean, I hate horror movies. Mm-hmm. Not my cup of tea, but this is okay. I like the more poltergeist, supernatural, mm-hmm. mystical,
paranormal activity.
Yes, or The Conjuring, or not Scream.
You like Scream?
I like Scream, but it's not what I really like. Mm. Like I like The Conjuring and Annabelle and mm-hmm. that kind of stuff. Poltergeist. What's the other one I'm thinking of? I haven't seen Insidious yet, but I think that's on that level. Mm-hmm. So, but all in all, it's worth a watch.
I might want to watch like the original Blair Witch Project.
Ooh. Well, you could do a mini Mombie on it.
Yeah. We
could watch it and do a stream.
Yeah.
So we've got all that time after the 23rd, which I have an announcement to make. Or actually, we could start doing it this week if we want to. We've got Cosme. Maybe we can get night. Oops. No worries. She's good. But yeah, so far Saw's turning out to be really good. So your homework for, well, it'll be season 2, episode 1, mm-hmm. will be Saw 3 and 4. And you can catch those on Peacock. Yeah. You got to have a subscription mm-hmm. to watch. So, anything else? Okay, so big announcement. Are you ready? Da, 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 da. Our 1-year anniversary live special will happen on October 23rd. We will be revealing our season 2 logo. We will be talking to people. I'm going to try to bring in Ranger because she's been along for the ride this whole year. Knight's going to be here. Vic's going to be here. There will not be another person here, but you know who I'm talking about. Okay. But anyways, so join us. What time? We're going to do it at night. It's a Tuesday, I believe. Yeah. So that night, I'm going to say 7 Central, maybe earlier for our East Coast friends. But I also have to be careful of other shows because I kind of like fit myself in with other shows. That's what we kind of do in Orville Nation. Mm-hmm. So I also want to give a shout out. It's been a wonderful year. Mm-hmm. We've grown. We've learned a lot. I want to thank PJ from Orville Nation. I want to thank Maria from Maria with Tea and Telly. I want to thank Admiral Teague. I want to thank Resolute Germ, Dark Helmet, Ranger, Captain Fandom Nerd, or anybody else in our little group right now. I'm trying to think, Appion. they've let me come on their shows lately to promote Sci Fi Mombie. We've grown. That's how we're going to be able to live stream now. We're hoping our numbers will grow because Admiral Teague has gone over the 500 subscriber mark. So congrats to him. But here at Sci Fi Mombie, we just don't talk about sci-fi. Although we love the Orville. Renew the Orville.
And Doctor Who.
And Doctor Who. Doctor Who's renewed. What are you talking about?
Know.
Bring on the 60th.
Oh, and I've been watching a show on Netflix. I watched through a show on Netflix called Q-Force.
What's Q-Force?
It's basically a group of queer spies for an organization called the AIA.
Okay.
And basically, it's mainly about this guy named Steve Merriweather, and he's gay. And he trains to be an agent with the AIA, and he passes with honors, and he's like top of his class. And during graduation, he comes out in front of everyone, and the director is just like, actually, no, you're not valedictorian or whatever it is, because he's gay. And it was 2011, so.
Interesting.
So
I'm going to have to look that one up.
So about 10 years later, he has this little group that he's made called Q-Force. And he's like, I'm sick of waiting for a mission. Why don't we go get a mission ourselves? And V, who's like, there's like, basically their boss, is like, no, you're not gonna do that. You'll get a mission when I give you one. And they're just like, no, we're gonna go get a mission now.
Talk about disobeying orders.
Yeah, but they ended up doing good, and they get a flash drive from this guy who's actually a part of this whole scheme to get plutonium. What is it?
Plutonium.
Yeah. And so they get this flash drive that contains all this information, but it's like heavily encrypted. But like they do so well that the director's just like, okay, you can start having missions now. And so they give them their own secret headquarters, and so and so they basically become an actual like spy team. And so basically the show is just about them going on different missions. And it's actually really cool.
It sounds really cool.
Yeah, but there's only one season, and it was canceled.
Oh, isn't that the?
Yeah,
that's the shit. Yeah, like a good show's on, and they just cancel it.
And it's really good too.
Like, what was the show that happened to Firefly?
It happened to Blockbuster.
Yeah.
And AJ and the Queen.
Oh, I love AJ and the Queen.
Yeah.
Aw. Yeah, there's a lot of shows that got the chopping block, like Star Trek Prodigy. Love Star Trek Prodigy. Hashtag renew Star Trek Prodigy. There's a lot.
And Infinity Train.
Infinity, is that the one it's a Cartoon Network show, right?
Yeah. And it became a Max original.
And then they axed it.
Yeah, it was supposed to have 8 seasons or 8 books. But they cut it off halfway.
Figures.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know, what's happening in the industry is pretty funky right now because not only did they not see the rise of streaming because of COVID, but they tried to screw writers and actors out of the money they so rightly deserve for their craft. And I'm sorry, here's a grind my gears moment. Because I work for the largest health insurance company in the nation, and people at the top of that industry get these huge ass $1 million bonuses every year, and I'm at the bottom of the totem pole, and I get maybe 1,500 or less. Where I used to bonus every quarter, but it was still shit money. If you can't live on 120,000 or less in at least our region, there's something wrong. There's something wrong. You know, our Congress people get paid 170 something thousand a year. You can't live on that. A lot of us looking from the outside go, well, I can live on that. Yeah, because we are. We're struggling, right? So it's ridiculous what's going on in America right now. And I just want to give a shout out to the people in Israel. It looks like Hamas has declared war, and they're going after the Israelis, and it's just bad. So all I'm going to say is I'm staying out of it. I'm an American. I feel for them. I'm praying for them, but you guys got to learn to coexist. You got to learn. That's all I got to say about that. We all have to learn how to coexist.
Isn't the Russian-Ukraine war
still going?
They need to learn to coexist too. And
Putin no.
Learn to keep his nose out of countries that aren't his.
Let's get this straight. Putin needs to just go away.
Yeah.
And leave Ukraine alone. He's not the czar of Russia. He can go screw up. Okay. Watch them now issue me an arrest warrant for saying that. But we live in America, so I have free speech. I can say whatever the hell I want.
Could you imagine not having free speech?
Shit. Right? Well, hell, they're censoring books from you all. They're banning books, trying to tell you what you can and cannot read. So give me a break. So. But your homework for season 2, episode 1 is Saw 3 and 4. We'll go ahead and we'll schedule Friday the 13th. I guess we'll start that. Well, wait a minute. Admiral Teague has his show that night.
Oh.
He does Friday night, and then we move into Doomcock show. He's really funny. You'd like him. You need to start being on these streams and stuff. You really do, so people can get to know who you are. You and Knight.
Okay.
I can't get Knight to move, but I think I can get you to move. But it's just a big sci-fi fantasy community. We all get together. We all talk. We all get to know each other. So try it out. But yeah. So October 23rd at 7:00 Central, we will start streaming for the 1-year anniversary special of Sci Fi Mombie.
So what's going on Friday the 13th?
Admiral Teague streams every Friday.
Okay.
So I don't know when we could stream to watch Friday the 13th.
Maybe we could watch it the day before on Thursday the 12th.
The 12th. Maybe. From Umbridge.
Also, if Admiral Teague is watching, I would love to be on one of your live streams with my mom.
Yeah, maybe we can get you there. So
with my mom being.
But you have to stay on topic.
Okay.
You can't, like on our show, we can ramble whenever the hell we want, but not on Teague's show. Not on Teague's show, and you got. But you can sit with me this afternoon because he's going live at 5, 6. You could sit here and watch it with me.
All right.
So, anything else?
I
think that's it. We're wrapping up season 1, people. This is incredible. 25 episodes. I think we may stick to 25 to 30 episodes a season, unless we really want to shoot for the stars and go for 52. We'll figure that out. But always catch us on our side channels. We've got the LGBTQIA+ channel. We've got the religion channel, and we've got the politics channel, and we have the movie review or whatever review channel.
I would still also like to do the story time.
Well, that's on your LGBTQ.
I know.
Yeah.
But I would love some suggestions on what books you want to see.
Ooh, that's a great idea.
Yeah, I was telling
Put it out there on our social media. You know, I need help keeping that stuff up. It's a lot of work. Nobody ever tells you how much work it is. It's a lot of work. And it's a lot of fun, but it's a lot of work.
Mhm.
So I will put that out there. We want suggestions. What kids books, what young adult books, and what adult books should
Mhm.
we read with Victor in full drag?
I know which one I might want to do for the first episode.
What?
If you give a mouse a cookie.
I love that book.
Because that one, I've loved it since I was a little kid, and so I think it would be really good to start the series with.
You used to have it memorized.
And I used to have a copy.
Yeah.
And
We used to have all those books. What happened? Like, if you give a pig a pancake, if you give a moose a muffin.
I think I even had the McDonald's one.
Yeah, you did.
Where,
you all did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because they used to sell little mini books with Happy Meals, right?
Mm-hmm. Oh, and we also got several of them through the Kellogg's cereal boxes.
Mm-hmm.
Where
I remember one time we went to some library and they gave me that if you give them out a cookie book.
Mm-hmm.
I can't remember where that was though.
Wasn't that the library station?
It might have been.
Because I tried to take you guys to all those at one time.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a big advocate of literacy. I'm a big advocate of education. I am not an advocate of banning books.
They banned Charlotte's Web for no reason.
I don't understand this country. You know, I feel like Farnsworth in that episode of Futurama. I don't understand this planet anymore. I'm leaving.
They're banning all these books, and it's just stupid. What happened to freedom of speech?
Here's my motto.
They just throw it out the window.
Okay, so here's my motto. If you don't like somebody's lifestyle, don't live it. Leave them alone.
What a lot of these people don't realize is that.
Well, I'm not done with my spiel.
Their lives, these people's lives don't affect others.
That's right. That's right. You know, if you don't like this show, turn us off. If you don't like what we say, don't be mean and hateful. Just turn us off. It's America, god dang it. Turn us off. If you don't like what Teague says, turn him off.
And if you don't like Series 11 of Doctor Who, don't
turn it off. I love Jodie Whittaker, damn it.
Yeah.
She's my favorite doctor of all time, besides 11. Tom Baker.
I love Series 11. I don't know what's so.
I don't know what. You know what it is, right? Misogyny.
Well, people say it has terrible writing.
Bullshit.
I mean,
there were some episodes you're going, huh?
Yeah.
But let me tell you what has really bad writing. That's worse than Doctor Who 11. Ahsoka. You guys have to do you know it's already been renewed for season 2?
Really?
We could renew Ahsoka for season 2, but we can't renew the Orville.
And then there's the whole situation with the Velma show.
They've already renewed Only Murders in the Building, but they can't renew the Orville.
But like with the Velma show, everyone hated it. They were gonna make a season 2, they canceled it.
That doesn't surprise me. It's Warner Brothers.
I don't understand why they didn't like it though.
Did you hear what Warner Brothers has done to J.J. Abrams and there was one other actor?
What?
They've canceled their contracts.
Really?
Yeah. It's J.J. Abrams is anyways. I don't like him. Do you know who his dad is? Do you know who J.J. Abrams' dad is?
Who?
The guy who wrote Airplane.
Really?
With the Zucker brothers. Jim Abrams. Can you believe that? I mean, like, we were talking last night on Teague's show about how his humor is forced in his writing. He should have brought his dad in to write all that. His dad is comedy legendary gold.
Yeah, they could be a great writing duo.
Yeah.
You know, JJ writes all the
The
more serious
straight sci-fi, and his dad
and
comes in
some
with
of
the
the more
comedy.
serious stuff, and then he comes in with the comedy.
Yeah. I don't
You
know.
Did he write the sequel series for Star Wars?
You mean the last trilogy?
Yeah.
Yeah, some of it, not all of it.
Maybe
The comedy would have been much better if his dad had wrote it.
Yeah.
Wrote those parts. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
All right. Well,
And
Orville Nation's not
also-
on yet.
Also, I don't understand why they forced Ray and Ben into a relationship. It made no sense for the story.
Okay, let's
And
talk
the whole
about that.
fact
Let's talk about that.
And the whole fact that Ray was a Palpatine.
Okay, so our theory is on Teague's show is, remember Palpatine said, or yeah, that he willed the midichlorians to create Anakin. Remember? Does that make him Anakin's dad?
But that would.
Uh-huh.
That would.
Uh-huh. So that's his granddaughter, right? Ray is his granddaughter.
It would be great-granddaughter.
No, because it's his daughter or son who had a daughter. So that's Palpatine's granddaughter, Ray.
But that would
so
that would still make Ray.
That would make Ben the great grandson.
But that would still mean they're still related. That's like her. What?
That's incest.
What is that? Her cousin or her nephew or something?
That would be her cousin.
Oh.
Yeah, that's incest.
That's stupid.
I mean, there are some cultures that believe that you should marry your first cousin. West Virginia, gypsies.
Alabama.
Yeah. But it's like, go a step further. George Lucas writing about Luke and Leia. And the kiss in The Empire Strikes Back.
Oh, speaking of Empire Strikes Back.
And that's my favorite Star Wars movie.
Basically, Across the Spider-Verse is the Empire Strikes Back of the Spider-Verse.
Is it? So you saw it?
Yeah, I saw Across the Spider-Verse.
Wow.
There's going to be a third one called Beyond the Spider-Verse.
Nice.
Yeah.
Cool.
But basically, we're introduced to the guy that's basically the villain. And it's Miguel O'Hara's Spider-Man 2099.
Wow.
And basically, do you want to see it? Do you care about spoilers?
I haven't seen it yet, and I really don't want you to spoil it for me.
Okay. But basically, Gwen's back, Miles is back, Peter B. Parker is back, and there's some new Spider people across the universe, even like Spider-Woman.
Cool. It's about time.
Yeah, she's pregnant while she's doing it, though. It kind of reminds me of Kid Snicket from A Series of Unfortunate Events. She did all that stuff while she was pregnant.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Yeah.
All right, here we go. All right, guys. Well, we're going to wrap it up because our favorite show is on. So, until next time, party people. Party on, Victor.
Bye.
No, you're not saying it right.
What?
Party on, Wayne. Party on, Garth. Party on, Victor.
Party on, Mombie.
There we go. Bye, guys.